Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and today my guest is Sidereal astrologer Krasi Attasio with her breakdown of the month of August. And apparently, there is a very rare and exceptional uh, celestial and star alignment that's happening in August that I'm very excited what Krasi will tell us about. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Ada. Hello, everyone. Yes, the whole year is full of events, Wada. When I was speaking about July, I was thinking only July is so interesting. Then I see August is also very interesting. Yes, on mid of August, when Jupiter and Venus will make conjunction, because now on the 27th of July, Venus just left, actually yesterday, she left Sidereal Taurus and she entered Gemini. And mid of the month, Jupiter and Venus will make conjunction in Gemini, and they will be together with the most amazing star on the sky, which is Sirius. Why so amazing? Me and you every year around this time of the year we explain to people why. This is the star which always rises, becomes visible after long invisibility, becomes visible around 17th, 18th of August. And for in our culture, but not only, Africans, Dogons, even Indians, other cultures consider this day very important. The first visibility of Sirius, and we call this God's New Year. Actually, the White Brotherhood, Master Beings, do not call this the God's New Year, and people would welcome Sirius high in the mountains. So
That's
why
what
did,
he also said.
yes,
He also said that on this day, and his students asked him, why is it so important when Sirius rises? And he said that Sirius is like the big brother of our sun. It's like the portal that it's like energies sent from the middle of the galaxy, where is the big black sun, to Sirius, and Sirius translates it to our sun. So it's like the great teacher of our sun, and it depending on the proximity of Sirius to our sun is depends the level of consciousness of humans. When it moves further away, we lose real consciousness of spiritual worlds, and when it starts coming closer to our sun, the vibration of consciousness starts rising, but that takes thousands of years. And he said that on this day every year, the spiritual hierarchies that control the future of the earth, we think archangels, angels, archives, and such kind of entities. Don't think Galactic Federation. Maybe that's the new name for that. But they're just like our bigger brothers, entities that are not physical in shape. They gather, and the ascended masters, and they gather every year on this date of the rising of Sirius from the perspective of Earth and decide what will happen historically and on Earth over the next 1 year. That's why we celebrate the 19th of August as the beginning of the God's New Year, as you said, the spiritual New Year. And like you're saying, is that this month, Sirius will align during its rising with Jupiter and Venus. This is the two best stars, the two best planets, Jupiter and Venus, and the highest vibrational star, Sirius. So, what do you think, Kras? Is it like,
beautiful. No,
yeah,
this is gorgeous. One more thing to say about Sirius. It is a must to watch the heliacal rise of Sirius start from 17, 18, 19th of August, because Brian Sedun is saying three things we need to do. Welcome the sun, welcome Venus as divine love, and welcome Sirius as, I think it was, divine wisdom. So these three, once we witness their first appearance, of course, the sun you can see every day, but Venus as a morning star, we don't see every day. Now you can see Venus as a morning star. And this is amazing. So he says you are not the same, actually, after you witness this. And last year, I did this, Wada. I've been waiting for Sirius. Really, I cannot explain to you the feeling. I don't, you know, but last year how it felt, I
you
cannot.
saw it
I
lucid? Meet his
Yes,
first sight.
yes, yes. And two times I managed to see him with his heliacal rise. And why is it important to watch? Because you, from your perspective, you watch, you see the flickering colors, and you know what this is bringing to you. This is your new year, right? This is your what will be shown to you is your thing. It is about you, for you, I believe. That's why when
Yeah.
I watched last year, it was I have no words to tell you the feeling. I don't know why it is so special.
Yeah.
You
But
connect
it,
with this, yeah, you connect with these divinities of higher hierarchies once you watch. And also, if you want to watch, it is early. Like, I think last year I saw him about, it was like 15 to 5 in the morning. I started watching around 4:20, 4:15. And when I saw, it is, yes, around this time. After that, you see Venus. First, you wait and see Sirius. Minutes after that, you see Venus.
and Jupiter.
This time also, yes, because now is exceptional. Jupiter too, yes, indeed. So this is,
Wow.
uh, I want to say, that in the Vedic astrology, people say, oh, Jupiter, Venus in close proximity, this is planetary war. I cannot agree with this because I've seen only good things with conjunction Jupiter, Venus. Only good things. I personally
Yes.
have it. And it is protective. It is blessing. It gives very good things. So now they will conjoin with Sirius. It may be, we can imagine there will be this council, and they will be discussing our future, and Jupiter and Venus will be like our praying for us. They will be there to help. This is how I see it.
Wow. So maybe there is, so this is influencing the whole year ahead if the decisions for humanity is being made around that day. And Jupiter and Venus, the beings connected to Jupiter and Venus, are one of the highest vibrational as well. And
Yes.
aligning with Sirius, maybe they're putting forces together for protection of some sort. We might need it.
Maybe we need it. We need it before things go too bad. We need it. We need it definitely.
Strong spiritual input.
Ah,
By the way, so it seems like this August is better, but September started the eclipses. And I wanted to say that Krasi is making an offering, just a one-time reading for $150. It's an annual prediction for the year ahead, plus focus on the eclipses of September because eclipses always can turn life upside down, or they're a bit fated, or some very big fated events happen as well. So
yes,
I'll put
very
it
much.
below if anyone wants to contact Krasi.
We're mentioning eclipses because these eclipse points will be already activated a little bit because now the first appearance of the moon also took place in Leo. When the eclipse is 7th and 21st of September, influence Leo, the constellation, and Aquarius, of course, as they are in opposition. So yes, this time we will not be speaking about eclipses, but mainly the things that are happening, which is this, what we just said, and then another very important stuff. So on the 27th, Venus moved into Gemini, where she has some dignities by triplicity, ruling Libra, meaning the same element, to say. So she has some powers, not very, very highly dignified, but still she's okay. And then on the 30th, Mars is leaving Leo. And maybe this is okay because now he conjoined with the lunar node Ketu. And you saw, again, dirty war tricks, and we expected this. Mars and Ketu is always very explosive. So now Mars is leaving Leo, and he will be in Virgo, where around 21st, 22nd, he becomes invisible. Very long. He will show up somewhere next summer in 2026. So in Virgo, invisible
Almost a whole year.
Mars, he will become in the
He'll be
summer. Yeah, in 2026, in June or beginning of July, he becomes visible. Mars, invisible all this time in Virgo. Actually, when planet becomes invisible, the Babylonians believe the planet descends into the netherworld. Nergal, Mars, God Nergal, he loves the netherworld. This is his normal occupation, normal ground. But of course, he'll be invisible again. Decisions to be made, decisions about war, sword, about disasters, natural, about conflicts. So Mars invisible becomes more strategic, not so much visibly warlike. So there will be, we'll see some, maybe some attempts for arrangements around the warlike situations in the world. But in Virgo, this maybe he will take away some health matters, and later when he becomes visible again, he will come up with totally new energy. And let me remind you, he becomes visible in Aries. Sidereal Aries in 2026
Oh,
in the summer. You know, it will be interesting. So the most significant things, what can be useful for us on our personal levels? I believe some people will have the luck to say farewell to health problems. He takes away with himself something, you know, something disappears. So let's say people who have
oh,
Mars, Virgo, sixth house, or they can benefit from like getting rid of some bad health problems. Of
mhm.
course, this can mean some problems with depends on the personal horoscopes. This can mean some problems with relationships. With depends, but it could be depends how Mars is placed in people's horoscopes. But could be some challenges in partnerships. This is very possible too, because Mars is the partner who is not there, you know. So this is also a possibility, and we can say only when we see the horoscopes, really. You cannot say just like this very generally, but these are the things which Mars can mean. And he becomes far more strategic, not so aggressive. Because you know, the general of the army, the admiral, will not have visible Mars. They have invisible Mars. So things are more, maybe the
Oh, really? Because
diplomacy. Mm, the
so
diplomacy will
it
be on
seems to me
another
like
level.
invisible Mars is more like scorpionic energy, gives scorpionic energy to
Very
Mars,
true. More
going under
hidden,
the ground.
more behind the scenes, more refined diplomacy. Not this. There is no such thing as diplomacy. The language is so rude, even on the levels which you call high. Now there will be, you will see more diplomatic arrangements or not, because there will be this point mid August when Saturn Mars will form opposition. And this opposition is extremely aggressive because Saturn, not fallen, but totally without dignities in Pisces with Neptune, will make opposition to Saturn in Virgo. This is who will still
Mars.
be visible. Mars, excuse me, who will still be visible. And later he goes into invisibility. We can only think of acceleration of the problems of the conflicts everywhere, protests.
One last kind of like aggressive before it disappears and it goes under.
Yes. You know, I'm even thinking when speaking about Europe and Bulgaria, because protests everywhere, of course, they don't show it on the TV, but protests against the left, in Serbia, protests everywhere, in France, protests. I think now when Mars becomes invisible, the energy of protests will go down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And people, yeah. Now, for example, these organizers say, "Oh, we now organize in the autumn another big stormy protest." I doubt it a little bit because Mars will not feed this energy in Virgo. But anyway, this is quite long cycle. We'll see. Another important thing is, we mentioned Sirius. And yes, this first appearance of the moon now in Leo, in the vicinity, of course, it's different from different areas of the world, of in the heart of the lion, which is actually courage, maybe for good, maybe for good. Of course, we cannot forget what happened previous months. You know, the whole year
There's new
is
moon on the 20th. Did you say it's on the 23rd of June? Of
July. The moon was
August.
sorry. The moon it just passed. The first
No.
appearance of the moon was one day ago, but I can count it for the month of August because it
Uh-huh.
shows the general picture, which
Next.
is Leo. Some energy because Ketu is there. We will find some courage. Especially interesting will be for people who have sidereal ascendants Leo, but we speak about the 12 ascendants. So We will be
Okay.
mentioning this one by one. Okay.
Okay. Are you starting on them?
We're starting. So these are like the most important. And just to mention, when Jupiter and Venus will be in Gemini, and Venus has some dignities, she will bless activities. They together will bless commerce a little bit more, studies, teaching, communication. So this is actually a good conjunction. I don't see it as a planetary war. This I wanted to say. Okay, and now we can do the 12 ascendants from both perspectives, as usual, sidereal and tropical. So we're starting with sidereal Aries or moon in Aries if you do not know your time of birth, or for the modern tropical astrology, this will be Taurus. For you, Mars, who is your ascendant ruler, is so important. And now he will be in your sixth house. He will be becoming invisible in the month of August. This is quite interesting for you because this will have to do with your personal energies, personal emotions, and Mars will give you more attention on health, routine. You will concentrate more on such matters. In addition, his invisibility can actually be good. Maybe he will help you to overcome matters which are sharp diseases, health problems, and also to get rid of some conflicting people around you or conflicting matters. So this is, but of course, be a little bit careful in your routine when you do things with institutions, police, departments, and so there you have to be a little bit more careful. Then the first appearance of the moon for you took place in your fifth house to emphasize on creative studies, on children, on to emphasize also on games, actually, creativity. So maybe you have the muse from you, and you took some energy from the past. Be a little bit careful, of course, around mid-month when Saturn and Mars will form a position, especially when it comes to conflicts, avoid risky situations. And Venus and Jupiter for you be in the third house to support your trade, communication, even travel. Just make sure that because of the placement of Mars in the sixth house, you stay away from conflicts and you take good care of your health. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant in Taurus or moon in Taurus. If you're following in modern tropical astrology, this would be Gemini. For you now, Venus just left your ascendant where for about 1 month she was really giving you blessing, self-esteem, well-being. She was really very good. Now in your second house, she will meet Jupiter and together they will be actually good for your finances. Why not? Also for some, we bring peace when it comes to relationship with family members. The moon appeared for the first time to emphasize on your forecast, your home, comfort zone, health of parents, mother, and so. Saturn and Mars will form their opposition mid of the month of August. 11th, 5th houses be a little bit more attentive with children, with the friendship circle, with your social circle, and when you make financial decisions. Mars becomes invisible on your fifth house. So it could be that you can change your news or approach to art, or he will bring some change in your artistic lifestyle or in your talented work or creative studies. In general, be a little bit more careful, attentive with children, and try to be careful when you make financial decisions and also when you communicate with friends. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Gemini or moon in Gemini for modern tropical astrology. This is Cancer. Now for you, Venus will be staying on your ascendant. This is beautiful for month of August. Jupiter and Venus will be together with the Sirius star who is becoming visible for the first time. This is very good, like really blessing in health. Maybe you have very beautiful spiritual experiences. Of course, Saturn still forms square to your ascendant, which would say you still may need to be a little bit careful with work, especially in the middle of the month, with superiors. But you have the great, great protection of these beautiful two planets on your ascendant. The first appearance of the moon took place in your third house to emphasize on studies, on relationship with brothers and sisters, giving you courage, and travel maybe. And now we'll be looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer. If you follow in modern tropical astrology, this is Leo. For you, the first appearance of the moon, which rules you, becomes visible in the second house of yours to emphasize finances, to emphasize a relationship with family members, with the family tree. And Venus left Taurus and will stay in Gemini, your 12th house with Jupiter. And they will be together with Sirius, who becomes visible this month. So Venus and Jupiter, they can help you to give you very good health, to bless your spiritual world, to bless your um, to bring peace, to help you reach peace and consensus with people, to fight and win over enemies. So they can be very good. Be a little bit careful mid-month, August especially, even from mid-month to the end of August, when you travel, when you communicate, when you do, when you choose new studies, could be that you experience some disharmony. So be a little bit careful there. Especially when you travel, make sure that you make very good arrangements, that you're very well prepared. Yes. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo. For modern tropical astrology, this is Virgo. For you, Mars left your ascendant. He's leaving actually in 2 days. Your ascendant to enter Virgo. And there he becomes invisible. This is actually good for your Mars on your ascendant. Is probably a little bit disharmonious, but maybe now he is entering. But now, when he enters your second house, you will feel a little bit less, not so much tension, or in the relationships too. Now, Mars will be in Virgo, and in mid of the month, around 21st, 22nd, he becomes invisible in your second house. He may bring changes related to your family tree, also financial matters, especially changes in some financial arrangement, finances. So be specifically uh, careful after 20th of the month. Venus also left Taurus, and now she's in Gemini together with Jupiter. Both will be witnessing Sirius. So Jupiter and Venus are together in your 11th house. This is fine for your finances, for your children, for your social circle. Actually, this could be blessing. And then Saturn is a little bit challenging for the finances of unexpected sources, finances of your partner, finances of sources like insurances, inheritances, and especially be careful when you make financial decisions after the first part of the month. But in general, Jupiter and Venus are giving some financial relief, and they will be creating good aspect of protection to your ascendant. And now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo. If you're following modern tropical astrology, this is Libra. For you, the first appearance of the moon was on your 12th house to emphasize on health. But actually for good, Mars will be on your ascendant as of 30th of July, and he will be becoming invisible after the second part of July on your ascendant. Be a little bit careful in your partnership, especially after second part of August. I said July, meant August. Be a little bit more careful around actually from mid-August to the end of August, because this opposition Saturn-Mars will also be valid then. Be careful when you travel. Don't get involved in risky, conflicting matters. Jupiter and Venus will be blessing you, actually, your career. So this could be good thing with the entrance of Venus in Gemini. So these are the main matters of, of attention for you, but Jupiter and Venus on your 10th house is a very good thing. And now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra. For modern tropical astrology, this would be Scorpio. For you, the first appearance of the moon took place for August in your 11th house to emphasize on games, social circle, children, not in a bad sense, for good. This is like the most important matters of the month. Jupiter and Venus conjoin in your 9th house to bless matters like travel, study, spiritual work, philosophical work. Mars is entering now your 12th house. You may need to be a little bit more responsible for your health. Be careful with people, with activation of enemies, especially after mid of the month. So these are the most important things. But in any case, you have the beautiful protection of Jupiter and Venus, who both of them would trine your ascendant. And now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio, moon in Scorpio. For modern tropical astrology, this is Sagittarius. Now for you, Mars, your ruler, will be now in your 11th house, where he also will become visible around 21st, 22nd of August. So Mars in Virgo, 11th house, especially after mid of the month, be careful because Mars is forming opposition to Saturn. Be a little bit more attentive with children. Be careful how you make financial decisions. Also, try to be diplomatic with your social circle. And so, in the meantime, Jupiter and Venus will conjoin in your 8th house to support some finances, especially such that come from unexpected sources or partnerships. And the first appearance of the moon this month happened on your 10th house to emphasize on your career. And this should be a good thing. Now let's look at people who have sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius. For modern tropical astrology, this would be Capricorn. For you, the first appearance of the moon took place for August, took place in your 9th house to emphasize on studies, spiritual work. Mars is leaving your 9th house. In the 10th house, he will be a little bit challenging for your career. Make sure that you remain or become very diplomatic, especially with superiors. Especially after in the second house, a part of the month, be careful because Saturn Mars form a position on axis of your career place and home. So make sure that you are very diplomatic. August wouldn't be really the best timing for new projects, new ideas, new beginnings. With the disappearance of Mars, you may experience some changes in your career place. But Venus is now in your 7th house, together with Jupiter. They will bless entrepreneurship, negotiations, also your romantic life and partnership. So Venus will bring very good energy there. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn. For modern tropical astrology, this would be Aquarius. Now for you, the first appearance of the moon took place in your 8th house to emphasize on secret knowledge, to emphasize on money of your partner or from partnerships or from entrepreneurship. For good, actually, then the Venus entered your 6th house. They will conjoin. She will meet Jupiter there, and this way she's blessing your health, some routine work, your everyday job for good. She will bring peace there. Mars is entering Gemini, your 9th house. This is drive to, to study, to travel, but be a little bit careful, especially when you study, especially when you travel, especially when you choose new study or new philosophy. Be careful because they will form a position, and especially after, I would say, even early August, be careful because Mars-Saturn opposition is happening on the axis of travel. Be careful with this too. But the good thing is Venus and Jupiter will support your routine, will support your health for sure. And now let's look at people who have Sidereal ascendant Aquarius or Moon in Aquarius for modern tropical astrology. This would be a Pisces. Now for you, the first appearance of the sun, of the moon for this month took place in your seventh house to emphasize on your entrepreneurship, your relationships, your for good. Jupiter and Venus are conjoining now after Venus entered Gemini, and they're conjoining in Gemini, so Jupiter and Venus in Gemini, your fifth house. This can be amazing because the first appearance of Sirius will be with them to bless your children, to bless your muse, talented work, to bless your uh, children, creativity, games. So this is very fine. Mars entered, who entered in 2 days, Virgo, and this is a little bit disharmonious for you, especially when it comes to finances, such finances of partner, also your own finances, relationship with family roots. Be a little bit careful when you make financial decisions, and this is valid also for your partner. So I mentioned about Jupiter and Venus. So this is basically, but the good thing is that Jupiter and Venus are conjoining for you in the house of the good fortune to bring you most probably good financial results, to bless your children and so on. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Pisces or moon in Pisces, or if you're following modern tropical astrology, this is Aries. For you, Saturn is on your ascendant, as you know, and now Mars is also going to enter your seventh house. This is not very harmonious. Make sure that you are very careful with your partnerships, romantic with your partner, also business, entrepreneurship. Make sure that you're a bit more diplomatic and careful. The whole month of August, you should be careful, especially after 15th, because then you have this opposition Saturn and Mars. Jupiter and Venus for you are conjoining in your fourth house to bless your parents, mother, to bless your house, even your work. But you need to be a little bit careful with this Saturn-Mars opposition. And I would say during the entire month of August, try not to be involved in conflicting, risky situations. Careful when you travel, when you drive, and so on. And the emphasis of the first appearance of the moon is in your sixth house, health, actually for good. This can be good energy, emphasis on your routine work, and I think this is the good thing for the month. So Wada,
Thank you so much, Krasi.
my pleasure. Thank you too.
Giving very short to the point interpretations, and for the good news about this special alignment Jupiter, Venus, and Sirius. Hopefully, as humanity, collectively and individually, this can raise our vibration and we can benefit.
I hope
So
so.
thank you live as well. If you'd like to contact Krasi, I'm putting a link below in the description. She's offering promotional reading for your annual year ahead horoscope with emphasis on the eclipses that are coming in September as well.
Thank you,
Thank
Wada.
you.
Thank you, everyone.